Hey, we are back with the third and final round of the 2025 TEC Offseason Special, the Super GT Mini Series. So 2 rounds at Suzuka, and on top of this already in the books. Round 3 it is for the season finale at Fuji. A very Super GT-like finale of this iconic Fuji Speedway. What a track that is. We'll jump right into the replay session in a second. So yeah, that race took place on Monday. As usual, we're going through the race replay. So let's jump to that bit. So we have the qualifying results for you. Beetlejuice takes pole position in the GT 500 class. Sluxy second, River third, Jaeger in fourth, Richie, Ray 5P6, Shadow and Rev in eighth. Then on the second page we have the GT 300s, and with Couch in P9, the 9th, and the GT 500. So pole in GT 300 goes to Chico Plazzi once again, battling with Lemony as usual for pole position, fastest lap, and the race victory in all those races. So Lemony, B2 in class, Deering, Prodigy, Ovich, Weyburn, and Taz. So we had two reserve drivers. So Prodigy, he talked Dashi into doing something for school instead of driving, so he could get some additional seat time in the McLaren 650S for the upcoming TEC season, where he will be driving that car. And in the GT 500s, we had actually Richie reserving for Rick. Rick had a little bit of internet issues the last couple of days, so couldn't race. So Richie in that Lexus in for that race. And without any further ado, we shall jump into the replay itself. So it was a bit wet towards the start, also tricky qualifying session. It was drying during that session, so also timing was crucial. But yeah, it will be the same for the race start. Wet track, will dry. It should rain at some point. We will see how that goes. So yeah, I'm talking again way too much. So we jump right into the replay. We hear the engines, we see the lights, and rain is falling early on. And we see the start. Beetlejuice with a good one, keeping that P1. Sluxy on the inside, River and Jaeger P3, P4. Then Sluxy was a bit laggy and a bit of a mess happening now into turn number 1, where River got stationary and suddenly caused a little bit of an issue. But Sluxy takes the lead, I think early on, goes around the outside. Beetlejuice in P2, and Jaeger versus Ray. Ray with a good start around the outside on the Coca-Cola curve, but Jaeger keeps that position for now, I think. We see Richie as well. They're going wide the inside, so Jaeger in third, Richie fourth, Ray in P5, Shadow in 6th, Rev P7, Couch 8, and River in 9th. So we have the GT 300 as well, close as usual on that opening lap. Plazzi in the lead with Lemony, and Deering not too far behind, braking for the Dunlop chicane for the first time. Plazzi keeping that position for now. Into the final sector we go. Advantage for the MR car. The Audi gets his nose past the Aston Martin. Can Lemony hold it around the outside? No, not yet. Tries to tuck underneath once again. It's Plazzi who goes a little bit deep. Still they go side by side into the final turn. Inside line versus outside line. There is more grip. Looks like around the outside where we see a bit more grip for the Audi R8 2015. The LMS But now you see the weakness of that car. The straight line speed is not there, so he gets mucked on that straight. That Aston Martin V12 roaring past the Audi into the first turn, but he keeps that position somehow. No, yes, no, we don't know. There goes side by side steering, also really close. Now it's the inside line for the Audi, for the left-hander. Has that position for now. Blasi still robust. Keeps that P9, 11, 10, and Beering P11. Then Prodigy in that McLaren in P12. Wayburn in the Z4 P13. Oh, which brought it in the GTR. Couch racer, a little mistake. For the GT500s dropped down to P15. And Taz in the Ferrari doing some Ferrari things during this race. Well, so it's Luxy leading still. GT500. Middle 2 second, and Ritchie goes round the outside, tries to get that move down on Jaeger. And Jaeger leaving that inside open, just manages to keep his nose in front, but he will be vulnerable down the straight. He tries to break that toe early on, so we go into Jaeger cam now. For this one we see Ritchie in that slipstream, and also watch out Ray with a massive send down the inside, way too deep, and Ritchie takes that opportunity and moves up a position. Jaeger avoids Ray, but loses a bit of momentum, bit of like the rhythm, and lost that position to Ritchie. Rap also now right behind through the Coca-Cola curve we go, and Rap with way more grip, and we see yellow flags. That is a Ferrari parking on the outside of that turn. So Taz waiting for the GT500 cars to get through, and Jaeger was a little bit distracted, so he has to defend now. Goes defensive for the Dunlop chicane inside line, and now watch Rapp late on the brakes, places his car side by side for the chicane and gets that move done. Jaeger struggling to get out to the power, and here comes River also around the outside. More grip. He is on the inside line now, forces Jaeger a bit wide. Jaeger now has to fight against Ray as well. He's on the wet bits, has the inside line now. Can he hold it? That is the question for now, but Ray with a massive run on the outside, using that curb and getting that slip for the moment. Shadow up to P8 also in that battle, that slipstream. We wait for the next braking zone into turn number 1. River and Ray. And Ray again with a inside move deep. Can he get it stopped? A bit too deep. He touches the Astro and goes spinning. Oh, unlucky for Ray. This gets River the advantage. P5 Jaeger, P6 Shadow, P7 Ray down to P8. And let's have a look at the GT 300 lastly with a little gap. Now, 2 during that long straight. We see the conditions. It's not raining anymore, so we see a drying track now. So Blasi in the lead. Deering still has that slip stream. Prodigy got past Lemony, so in the drying conditions that Audi R8 wasn't that good compared to the wet ones. Lemony is still there right behind Prodigy. Wayburn in the Z4, also not too far behind. Same goes for Ovich. Couch taking it very easy, early move to get onto racing medium tires, and Taz on the outlet going again for intermediates. So I think he was starting on a slick tire compound. It's Luxy with an early lead, roughly 1 second, maybe a bit more. And we see also Ritchie into the pits early, pit stop, so going for an aggressive strategy onto slick tires. So this gets rough up to P3. River in 4th, Jaeger. P5, Shadow. P6, Ray after the little spin down to P7. We see Ridgely hits, and it will be a slick tire compound. What will it be? It is racing softs. Okay, so he wasn't expecting like a long dry period. Away he goes. GT 300 still Blasi during Lemony. Where is Prodigy, by the way? Prodigy in the pits as well. So going for an early pit stop as well. So the first lap might be tricky on slick tires. Now it's still a bit wet, especially the pit exit. But takes it easy onto the dry part, and then also soft tire. That is for the McLaren. On Couch with the mediums, and Taz on the intermediates now with a big gap already. We see now Sluxy in for the pit stop. The same goes for Beetlejuice. Rev staying out for one more lap. River doing the same. Jaeger into the pits, closely followed by Shadow. Ray as well decided that's enough. Touch that pit wall slightly. So will the undercut work for Richie? That's a question. Oh, still a bit wet. Here on the main straight, on the edge, I think now. Oh, he's definitely jumping Jaeger. Did he lose the position? No, I think he was just bad, so didn't lose too much. Beetlejuice on the softs, Sluxy mediums, Rev intermediates, River intermediates. And now we'll have to wait and see if Richie can pick up the pace. He's closing that gap to Beetlejuice by the looks. Then goes a little bit wide and then loses the rear on the wet part, doing a 360 and spins the car again, facing the wrong direction. Says hello to his fellow GT 500 drivers and driving over the racetrack with a rejoin now in P8. That is so unlucky for Richie. Cut that wet bit. Alright. Sluxy now in the pits. I think Rev will follow as well now on trying conditions. But interestingly, we have River staying out for one more lap. Is this a mistake? I don't know. Blasi with a big gap already, but he was also stayed out on intermediates. Couch now got past the GT 300s. Gearing on medium tires, Prodigy on softs, Lemony on mediums, Ovic right behind on the racing softs. Then Weyburn, he's using the mediums for once. He was a soft tire runner for most of the season, and Taz on the intermediates stayed out for a bit longer. So yeah, we have one GT 500 with River Ruckus leading and still being out on intermediates. Still some wet patches, but it's definitely dry conditions now, so maybe one lap too long on those intermediates. He's still having a nice gap to Beetlejuice in P2. Where will he emerge? Pretty sure he will be pitting this lap now, coming out of the final turn, and yeah, right behind Taz, who decides that's enough as well for me on those inters. So into the pits we go for River. Beetlejuice comes around the final turn. It's dry, really dry now at this stage. So we'll take over the lead. Sluxy on the retro. He's using the medium tires compared to Rev on racing softs, using that slipstream now down the main straight and going for the move into turn number 1. We see River coming out. It showed intermediates, but that's not correct. It's racing mediums in fact. So it dropped behind Jaeger for now. So that 2 more laps on intermediates weren't like the quickest, but he had a different strategy idea in mind with running the mediums. He wasn't expecting rain to come that soon, was hoping for a long run on the mediums. He's under pressure now with Shadow on the softs and Ray also on racing soft tires close behind the German driver Ritchie after the spin in P8, also using the softs. Couch then P9, so top 9 out GT 500s. Prodigy leading for a brief moment the GT 300s. Lastly on mediums in P2, Deering on mediums in P3 in class. And next up it is Lavany on the medium tires as well. And as soon as we speak, he is flashing the lights. How does he do it? It's a replay, come on. How? He knew that I was going right to him on the replay. But it's coincidence, I don't know. Witchcraft, yeah, but everyone now is using a slick tire compound at this stage. And I think something happened between Ray and River. So yeah, Ray is got past River, but now slows down, waits for River, so there was a bit of contact heading into turn number 1. So River lost a bit of time there with that incident. T6 so has to fight to get closer to Shadow once again. Jaeger in P4 on softs, slowly closing that gap to Slugsy, who is using the mediums. The top 2 with Ruff and Beetlejuice on racing soft tires as well. Let's have a look at our lap times. 34.0 currently. I think they will be improving lap by lap now. Basically try 33.2. 32.4 rev is flying in those conditions. Slugsy 33.4, 33.5 for Jaeger, so same pace. Mediums versus softs, interesting. At this stage I was pretty sure I was catching Slugsy at some point. Maybe it will happen later on. Also Shadow with a great lap, 32.8, pushing that Lexus to the limits. And River after that little incident with Ray is 36, but now getting up to speed on his mediums. Ray then in P7 with Ritchie on softs, 33.5 the best, 35 last time round, little off track. Maybe Couch improving to a personal best 34.0. Then in the GT 300s it is Prodigy with still a nice little gap. That McLaren 650S good with the tires. Traction. Lazy still being pressured by Deering. What is going on? They are not pitting right now. They're going for the defensive line. The main straight close to the pit wall. And we hear that roar of the SLS AMG braking for turn number 1. Also that Aston Martin V12, a nice sounding car definitely. And have a look, Blasi goes a bit deep. You Is there an opportunity to go around the outside? No, probably not. Still a bit wet. Maybe on the outside. You have to be careful. And a bit understeery, that car by the looks. Deering had a brief look, then got a little wobble coming out of the right-hander. So Blasi keeps that position for now. Braking for the Dunlop chicane. It is close. Deering closing that gap under braking. We also see Lemony now close that gap. Is back with the pack, the battle. They got Deering taking different lines. It is dry everywhere by the looks. Let's look left, right, and we see the GT 500 leaders, Beetlejuice and Rev, right behind this group of cars. Will they catch them down the main straight? That's the question. Not that much of a speed difference for the GT 500 on top end compared to the GT 300s. Initial acceleration, yes, and we see Beetlejuice getting past Lemony. Don't think he will be close enough to go for a move. Deering bump drafting Blasi, interesting. Going into turn number 1. Oh, and Rafi sees an opportunity, goes inside and caught Beetlejuice a little bit by surprise. Left to right around Deering. Oh, a little tap for Blasi, unlucky. Lap traffic, always a bit tricky. So Lemony said thank you, I'll take that position for now. So P2 in glass, Blasi third and Deering fourth, but it's still close. Webern, which sends it deep, too deep, a bit unsettled. Final sector. And Tess now on softs. What is possible for Tess? That is the question. We saw that change in the lead between Rev and Beetlejuice. And there's the next GT 300 car right around the corner. Oh, but she goes off track a little bit, or uses plenty of the outside curb. We still have Rev and Beetlejuice within a second. Then next cars, it is Slugsy gets the move done on Lemony. Jaeger with a little gap, we see more cars in the distance. Ray and River again dropped behind Ray with the soft tires, definitely pushing. River with the different strategy with the medium tires. Let's see the lap traffic. Jaeger just got past Deering and Blasi now is behind Lemony. Will he get the run? Gets better traction and gets an easy overtake. Oh, Lemony says hi, Jaeger. Such a nice guy. What a legend. But we go to that one. I think that is interesting. Lapped traffic everywhere. Shadow around the outside. It's Ray right behind Deering. And gets the look down the inside. Gets the move done. What about River in the distance? Patience though, he gets the inside line as well, and Ray with better grip gets the move down, and we should see River doing the same now. Late overtake. Let's see that one. River lost that gap to Ray. Has to wait. There is Lemony parking it on the inside at turn number 1. again, a little bit unlucky with the traffic, lost a couple of times to Ray and Shadow. You see Jaeger versus Prodigy, same spot on the track as last time around. This time Jaeger uses the inside. All run up towards the Dunlop chicane. Stay with Shadow. For the final sector behind a GT 300. You see more downforce, more grip. He's patient. Oh, big wobble again on the curb. Keeps it straight on the black stuff. Now we should see race perspective. Flying past Slugsy into the pits. Why? What is happening? I think there was some rain on the radar, and Slugsy, he was being fooled by that weather radar, so that there was a big rain cloud coming, but it didn't really do that much. Just a little bit of rain into turn number 1, but that's all she wrote, I think. So it's not raining that heavy. So a little bit of rain, but still manageable on slick tires. So everyone else stayed out by the looks of it, at least. We'll see about the GT 300 grid test. The Ferrari, what's he going to do? He's going for a pit stop, is he? Yeah, he's also being fooled by the weather. Ovich stayed out, Webern stayed out, Deering also staying out on mediums, Blasey on the mediums as well. Lemony Couch Racer also is pitting. Prodigy still leading that GT 300, so Couch Racer. Mediums and intermediates it is for Couch. Intermediates as well for Slugsy, but see, there's no more rain now. No more rain happening, so intermediates, yeah, they're gonna be cooked. And Slugsy a bit off track as well. So yeah, it's basically try again. So that didn't really go to plan. What is this big group of cars doing? Where are we? Camera, give me a good shot at it. Lemony, Blasey and Deering, all three close together once again. And I also think they are catching Prodigy. Still a couple of seconds at this stage, but they definitely survived that bit of rain. Yeah, here is Prodigy and Lemony now coming out of the left-hander, so 5 seconds roughly the gap. Blasey, Deering, it is close. Webern on mediums, closely followed by Ovich, using the racing softs on that Nissan GTR Nismo 2013. You see a little bit of wear now appearing on those soft tires, but it's close. We know that Z-Core is a rocket down the straights, so probably a tough one for Ovich to get a move done. We'll see that difference now. Through the final couple of corners we go, and Webern with roughly 6-7 tenths of a gap. Oh, Lemony got past, stands no chance against the FR cars, more top end, so lost the position. Deering went a little bit deep, so Blasi now in P2 again. Lemony and Deering, that battle continues. So Webern, yeah, indeed, definitely kept that gap, maybe increased it a little bit. And Taz on intermediates, yeah, that wasn't the best idea, so a very, very Ferrari-like strategy. So what about Sluxy? Back out on racing softs, so that definitely cost Sluxy some time. The 2 laps on intermediates where it wasn't really raining. Now he's trying to push and see what is doable. Richie in P7, softs still looking okay. Fuel, a bit of an issue maybe. River, and we have Ray versus Shadow. Ray, for a brief moment, gets the move down on Shadow, but runs deep into turn number 1 again. So they come out side by side with Ray having the inside line. Shadow on the outside has to back out of it. They make the left-hander into Coca-Cola. Curve we go, and River now with his medium tires definitely now up to pace against slightly worn soft tires, so not much of a disadvantage at this point, I would say. There is Jaeger, got a little gap to Ray, 5 seconds roughly at this stage, but also a big gap to the leaders, Beetlejuice and Rev. Both on a similar looking strategy, except the fuel. Beetlejuice is saving the fuel, maybe put in a bit of fuel during that pit stop, while Rev is draining his fuel with 27 liters remaining compared to 48, 49 for Beetlejuice. Both on the soft tires. Jaeger also keeping an eye on the fuel, 48, 49. Trying to make those softs last. The strategy, but the hope was definitely there to see a bit of rain coming, so it was scheduled to be a rainy day, but a very long dry period at this stage. And once again Ray a bit too fast into turn number 1. This time gets it stopped. Oh, Shadow, a penalty. Where did he get that from? Last turn maybe, a bit too wide on the exit. So River with that opportunity on the straight on the next lap, probably get that position. Richie then in P7, looking after tires. Fuel is the issue. Sluxy now flying 32.9, trying to get that fastest lap. Fresh soft tires, fuel looking good. Couch on racing softs after using every tire compound I think so far, except for the heavy wets. So maybe that will happen towards the end. We'll see. Prodigy still leading the GT 300s, and that gap seems to be very stable. Let's have a look at the lap times. Yeah, 41s, 42s compared to Blasi, Deering and Lemony. But it gets interesting. We see Sluxy in the distance, trying to get a run around the outside. This time no drama with the Deering. And can he get that move done before the Dunlop chicane? Yes, he can. But this bunches up the 3 cars once again. Blasi, Deering and Lemony into the final sector we go. The Aston Martin still leading, closely followed by the SLS AMG and the Audi R8. So 3 different manufacturers fighting for positions. Good to see. All 3 are running the medium tires, and now we see that gap opening up a little bit on the straight. That R8 can keep up with the other 2 in that slipstream. Probably no chance to go for a move. Stays close again, Deering a bit too deep into turn number 1. They come out side by side once again. Deering now the inside line. Oh, Ref has to pit. So Beetlejuice back into the lead in the GT 500. Ref into the pits. Soft it is. Ovic also in the pits, so we quickly jump to Ref and see what's going on. So it looked still okay, I think, the softs, but he was probably not expecting any rain, so he was going for a fresh set of softs. No, it is mediums, so what do I know? Nothing, apparently. Beetlejuice on those softs and making the fuel last. Not much of a difference with the fuel usage, but the tire wear between that Lexus and that Nissan GTR. You see that front left now is the issue. River moved up to P3 briefly on mediums, but Ref with his fresh medium tires should get the run, probably. Will he get it before the Dunlop chicane? That is the question. Don't think so. Taking it easy on the outlap. Probably in those conditions, the mediums take a little while to get the heat into those tires, so you can build up that grip. But now it looks like he is very close. 2-3 tenths probably behind. And should probably get a toe down the main straight. It just needs to nail that final turn. Gets a good run. Is close. So this could be the move happening. Using that slip. Is he close enough? Not really. Interesting. Will he send it into turn 1? It would be a massive lunge. On the inside, no. That didn't happen. Now coming out of turn number 1. Also, River was flashing his lights, saying hello to the stream. What is going on? We see Ray pitting for fuel, was very low. Both hit the outside grass and the dust a little bit, but nothing to worry. So River with actually some great pace on his slightly worn medium tires can still keep that position. How long, that is the question. Look at Jaeger's tires starting to fade. Gets the move, staying out for one more lap at least. And now this time looks like Ref is even closer than the previous lap. It's 2 car length. That the Honda, some decent top end compared to the GTR. It still looks like River is keeping that position for now. Again, turn number 1, didn't get the apex, so now has to go defensive. Oh, Ruff not going for the move yet. I think at this stage Ruff with a little bit more pace, just wasn't close enough. So next opportunity, good run, and we have the dead ball. What is going to happen? Will they catch him? No, before the Dunlops. Oh, it will get interesting now. Stuck behind GT 300. Inside, outside. Whoa, 3-way situation briefly. Can Ref hold that line? Yes, he can. He gets the run. What a move! On the inside. Great overtake. that GT300 traffic definitely helped. Ref and Jaeger's tires are done now. And what's the decision? One more lap. Was hoping for some rain. Look at the difference between Jaeger and Beetlejuice's tire on the same strategy. The fuel roughly the same. So Ruff third. River in that slip gets the massive run, but uses the bomb draft instead of the move. He was probably thinking he can use Ruff's speed at this stage. Richie with the fuel very low has to pit soon. Shadow on mediums now after the pit stop. Sluxy on softs has the fastest lap at the moment. A 31.4 on softs. Ray on softs again after pit stop in P8. Couch then in P9. Let's go back to the GT300s in this long, dry middle period of the race. Blasi opened up that gap to Lemony. 1.5, 2 seconds roughly the same to Deering again. Deering is slow on fuel. Not as slow as Lemony. Blasi with some fuel saving magic in the Aston Martin. There is Prodigy. Prodigy with some fresh soft tires and on the outlap. Refueled, not to get to the end with the fuel definitely. The drop behind Webern. We see Richie got past Jaeger in to the pits now. Couldn't go for any longer with the tires probably. Was like, yeah, let's go for fresh soft instead of hoping for some rain, which wasn't coming along. And also we see Richie in the pits that fuel is low. Jaeger fresh soft tires and the fuel to get him to the end. So River in third, Ref opening up that gap now. And Beetlejuice still doing very good on those soft tires and the fuel. Let's have a look at River's fuel also. I'm getting lower and lower, and there was still no rain on the radar at this stage. So P4 is for Jaeger on soft. Shadow in P5, Sluxy up to P6. Oh, little penalty. Slowing down his charge. So he got past Richie, who is using the softs again. And Dre in 8th on softs as well, pushing to get something out of that race. And Couch in P9's Lemony into the pits, steering the pits there, low on fuel. They couldn't get one more lap in. Blasi on the other hand, more fuel, at least 2 more laps probably for the Italian driver. So Lemony and Deering were forced to pit due to the fuel consumption. And what they're doing now, let's see, they're definitely getting in the fuel for the rest of the race. What's the tire choice? It's soft tires for Deering, soft tires for Lemony. So everyone knew, like, the final 10 minutes roughly, we will have guaranteed rain. So yeah, no point going for medium tires at this stage again. Webern also had to pit for fuel. Ovich on softs. Fuel should be good to get him till the end. And Tess on mediums. Plenty of pit stops happened during that race for the Ferrari. At the front, it's still Beetlejuice leading. Hoping to see some rain soon. On the other hand, it is Ref who doesn't want to see that rain that soon. The medium tires and the fuel. He was hoping for a couple of more laps in dry conditions. River as well, I think, was waiting for the rain. I can't remember the party chat correctly, so he was like, oh, where's the rain? My fuel is getting too low now. But we see definitely some mist appearing, some foggy conditions. This is usually a sign that the rain is coming closer and closer. Very overcast conditions at this stage, so Jaeger and P4 hoping to see a delayed rain start, so he could catch River, or that River would have to pit before the rain actually is hitting the track. So this was a bit of a gamble, definitely, for Beetlejuice and the River as well. So they're going. They still can go with the fuel. Rev pushing the mediums, trying to close that gap to Beetlejuice. Also, Rev's probably the only chance. So if Beetlejuice has to go for an extra pit stop, this would be ideal for Rev, of course. River now, we see the red fuel indicator now. So one more lap probably for River. So Jaeger in P4, Shadow with Sluxy pushing. P6 again, some hammering down the lap times, getting closer to Shadow now. Goes for a wide line into the final turn, cuts it back and tries to get that slipstream. Looks like it's going to happen. And then we have a couple of cars very close. Richie, where is this battle? Who is it? Prodigy, right in the mix. Taz, Prodigy, Lemony. They get some tow from the Ferrari. And Prodigy versus Lemony, inside line. Get it stopped. Oh, he runs a bit too deep. Taz goes past as well. Again into the lead, and now Lemony in the inside versus Prodigy. It is Lemony with track position for the left-hander. Prodigy on the outside, still there. Inside line, a bit of a tap, and on the outside goes Richie in the GT 500. He tries to go for the outside line, at least he makes it work. Again, Prodigy versus Lemony. This time Lemony got the better line and should keep that position for now. Maybe runs wide onto the grass, but carries the speed. Deering closing that gap to Prodigy and Lemony as well. Interesting. Novich and Webern, they are close, both on the top tires. And yeah, we saw Taz like being involved in that lead battle. So what about the leaders? Look at that fuel, it is low, really low. And it's probably now where the drivers see rain is appearing. Yeah, you see the windshield wipers going. What a lucky race it was for Beetlejuice. Like, he had to pit on that lap just when the rain was hitting the track. So perfect timing for the leader. No additional pit stop needed. With 15 minutes to go, we had the rain, and it would be, well, it will be some big rain, of course. It is so. You see Shadow, Richie, Ray all pitting now, and Beetlejuice is coming in for service. Rev as well, those mediums, yeah, couldn't use them to the max, so has to pit now as well, I think. Oh no, he's staying out for one more lap. Interesting. Here comes River also. That fuel basically non-existent. Also lucky for River, made his strategy work. A long intermediate run and a long medium tire run, so yeah, just in time. What about Jaeger? Pit or not to pit? It wasn't that bad still, but the risk was to catch that rain in the final sector on the next lap, so in it is. Slugsy, this time he sees all the other cars are pitting, so he knows this is the time to go on to a rain tire compound again. Intermediates most likely, so Shadow already on those intermediates, and we see that rain increasing on that last sector already. Richie is on the intermediates as well with the early pit stop. Ray as well on inters. Couch out on the intermediates. Blasi in. He had to pit for tires or fuel and use the softs, and all his advantage is gone. So he had to pit on his outlap right in again. So Lemony during their back in business. The same goes for Prodigy. So the top 4 in the GT300 should be really close now. It's intermediates for Blasi, intermediates for Lemony, Prodigy and Deering. Wow, that is close. Raf now made it into the pits, this extra lap. Prodigy versus Deering already under pressure, who is the braver driver of the two cars in those mixed conditions now. Ovic made it into the pits as well. Weber on heavy wet tires, look at that, he was not trusting that forecast. And Taz on intermediates, so race situation at the front. Beetlejuice on intermediates, Raf on the intermediates as well. River, perfect timing, inters. Jaeger, P4, big gap. Slugsy also on inters now. Half of a straight, the gap to Jaeger. Shadow drifting it. But everyone is now on a rain tire compound, and I think except for Weyburn, everyone is using the intermediates now at this stage, yeah. And in the GT300s, so Blasi on the outlap on intermediates. Lemony. Now these are Audi R8 conditions, definitely. This MR advantage now, and he has that slip. Also we have the second MR versus FR battle. Prodigy in the McLaren 650S versus Deering in the Mercedes SLS AMG, and Deering closing that gap before the braking zone. Inside line, can they go side by side? No. Deering backing out of it, but Prodigy goes a bit too deep, and cut back, maybe incoming. Side by side they go. It's now really pouring down. Prodigy still has the inside line. Keeps it on the curb, a little bit of contact between the two, but both stay on the track. But and then Prodigy losing it. That rear stepping out. Too much angle, and car is gone. So unlucky for Prodigy. He was having a nice little race up to this point, definitely, with Blasi, Deering and Lemony, is right behind Blasi now, and you see, I see, it is now heavy wet conditions. So we've gone past the second bar, the track wetness indicator. So this is definitely now tricky conditions. What to do now? Still think that the traction in the MR cars are still okay to handle, and it looks like Blasi is going for our next another pit stop. Yes, indicating to the right, so we'll be pitting. He wasn't trusting the conditions. It will be wet tires for Blasi. Oh, interesting. So Lemony takes the lead in the GT300 class. Blasi losing that P1, even P2 to Deering. Will he come out in third? Where is Prodigy after that spin? He will get Blasi probably now. as well. No fuel needed, just tires for the Aston Martin driver. But yeah, Prodigy up to third in class. It's heavy wet tires. And also P2, we see Ref wasn't trusting those conditions. Inter's no good, probably, and he's switching over to the heavy wets as well. So River up to P2, Beetlejuice leading that race lap, big gap at this stage. River in P2, Ref coming out in P3, 1.5 second the gap to Jaeger at this point. Now definitely you have more traction, more control with the heavy wets, but that extra pit stop cost Ref roughly 20 seconds, 15 to 20, something like that. Don't know the exact amount, but definitely a big chunk of time, and he lost in that P2. But maybe it was the safe option to keep that car on track. You see now really heavy rain falling on the track. But the gaps between the GT500s are quite big now. Jaeger, Slugsy and Richie Shadow. Not too far behind Richie at this stage. You see the splashes everywhere, puddles, trackside. Now really tricky conditions. Ray, a bigger gap in P8 and Couch. Yeah, in P9, not like the race he wanted, but was also like on a short notice with internet on off for the entire weekend and just came back before the race, so not much time to practice at all or get into a rhythm. Lemony then with a nice little gap to Deering in the GT300s with 6 minutes and a bit to go. So Deering second in class, Prodigy is third, and we see Blasi catching, so he needs to get that P3 to win the GT300 championship. He's currently fourth in class, so very, very close indeed. Will he get that P3? That's a question. Webern and Ovic still close. Webern on the heavy wets, Ovic on the intermediates. So I think that was the worst part of the rain. It's not that heavy anymore, so come down to more intermediate conditions for the final couple of minutes. And yeah, the Ferraris at the back with Tess also bent that strategy, quite frankly. But hey, those races are just tricky to conquer in the end. So mixed conditions, not sure about when the rain is falling, how strong it will be. Yes, I think we go to Blasi and Prodigy. So Blasi got past Prodigy now. The heavy wets still working quite well at this point. So a bit more traction compared to Prodigy. But the tables will turn very soon with the rain now easing off, and the race will come back to the intermediate runners very soon. And then we see some lapping happening between the GT500s and the GT300s. We have multi-class action as well. That's already difficult for the drivers to manage the traffic on in both classes, and with the added rain now, definitely a challenge to overcome. Let's have a look at Deering to Lemony. That's the gap quite big. Now 6-7 seconds maybe. So Lemony looking to get that W in the GT300, steering with a P2 incoming. Blasi third would secure him the overall championship. Prodigy really close now, and I see that that bar is dropping below the second bit of the indicator, so intermediate conditions. It is now Rev pushing on the wets, but probably too late now, and yeah, the wets, they won't be performing that good anymore. Weber has opened up that gap to Ovic for now. So can he keep those tires working for the final 2.5 minutes? There's the question. Taz is low on fuel. Will he run out of fuel? We'll find out. So it's 2.5 minutes to go. This looks like the penultimate lap for Beetlejuice and the river. Rev trying to close that gap to River, but it's still 6-7 seconds at this stage, probably a bit more, don't know, 7-8, something like that. So Jaeger kept that gap to Sluxy and roughly in the same. Shadow, Richie, and it is Ovic, but Richie might. Oh yeah, Shadow spun it, so Richie gets one position for free. Shadow, he announced he will finish that race in P7 before the race, and that prophecy, it got fulfilled. So P7 for Shadow, this Ray in 8th, Couch 9th. Approaching that final lap now of the race. So Lemony starting that one in the GT 300s. Now, Deering in second position, probably unable to catch Lemony. Blasi. What's the gap to Prodigy at this stage? Prodigy just sitting inside that Slipstream Rage on that final lap now, and you see a racing line appearing, dry racing line, so the heavyweights will suffer. No, probably. Well, the same goes for Weyburn. There's Ovic closed that gap to Weyburn. Now it's also interesting. And Taz on that final lap. That fuel is looking very, very low. But yeah. Running last currently. They cannot lose any more positions. And it will be Beetlejuice winning that round and securing the championship in the GT 500. Well done. 37 racing laps it is for the Finnish driver in his Lexus, and crosses the line, wins round number 3. River then in P2 in the GT 300s after some incidents early on, and with a lucky strategy in the end to get P2. Then it will be Rev in third position, and Lemony crosses the line, winning the GT 300. So we go to Deering, finishes P2, and Blasi versus Prodigy. Blasi kept that position just so crosses the line in P3 and gets the overall win in the GT 300. Prodigy in fourth in class. Weyburn versus Ovic on that final lap. So can Ovic get a final turn overtake done on the Z4 in his GTR? We'll see. Let's try. That's Z4 is struggling for grip, but gets a good run, good traction. It will be a run to the line. Ovic is flashing, says, yeah, it's okay, it's okay. They get the run, it's side by side. Who gets it? It is Weyburn. And Tash finished that race as well with some damage. Got a little bit of help from Richie, I think. Alright, that was the race. Get rid of those, and we put on the race results, shall we? So Beetlejuice with the W in the GT 500s. River Rockers in second. Ref then takes the final podium spot in the GT 500s. Jaeger in a solid P4. Slugsy got tricked by the weather, P5 in the end, so he would be up there for battle for podium, definitely. On pure pace, Richie P6, Shadow P7, Ray in P8, and we go back to the second screen where we have Couch in P9 and GT 500. We go to the GT 300s where Lemony got that W in his Audi R8 LMS, Earring in his SLS AMG in second, and Blasi P3 in the Vantage. Close gaps 2. Prodigy in the end. Bayburn versus Ovich, also a really close round to the line. And Taz then finishing P16 that race. So this leaves us with the overall standings in the mini series. We see that Beetlejuice takes the victory in the GT 500. Ref in second, River in third. Well done on the podium for you three. And in the GT 300s, we have Blasi. Just 2 points that gap. Why is there a stupid little mouse thingy going on? Oh, it's gone now. Okay. Blasi, 2 points that gap to Lemony, and Deering in third for the GT 300. So yeah, that was a fun little mini series here, TEC off-season fun in 2025. So I enjoyed that. Nice to see some older cars competing, multi-class action with some weather involved as well. Good stuff. We have 2 more TEC off-season specials coming up this season between the regular TEC seasons. So next up for the off-season special will be a Group C one, again a 3-round mini-series, and then towards the end of the year we have the 3rd off-season special for TEC that will be classic F1 cars. So yeah, something different compared to the usual TEC Group 3, Group 4 stuff. So looking forward to see some awesome racing again. So yeah, it was a great one. Thank you all for joining, competing. Great turnout for this little series. Yeah, that's it from my side for this stream. Super GT TC off-season fun it was. So get rid of that, go to the intermission and say thank you all. That was the schedule, Suzuka, Autopolis and Fuji. Alright, see you very, very soon for the official TEC season starting in 1.5 weeks on a Monday. We will cover those races with a real life replay stream as well, Tuesday or Wednesday depending on my schedule. So yeah, hope to see you there, and maybe also have a look at our other live streams for TEC. That's it from my side. I'm your boy Jaeger. Have a good one, take care, love you all, see you soon, yippee-ki-yay!